Good morning, everybody. I'm Lynn Linton. I'm one of the brokers here at Maximum One Community, and I hope today is going to be a good day for you.
Yes.
Today, I have my friend Sheila Jones with me, and instead of giving you a whole bunch of statistics, I thought it might be more interesting and helpful for me to just sit here and talk to Sheila and talk about the market, what it's like now. Sheila's been in the business now for about 32 years, right? And she started out doing some PR work for a big high producing agent, and obviously that has rubbed off on Sheila because she has had multiple incidents months where she's been our top agent, and she's consistent in her business. And I'm going to be asking her some questions today about how she sees things through the eyes of a very experienced agent. So I'm going to ask you, Sheila, what do you see as the biggest challenge for realtors today?
First, I'm glad to be here with my favorite broker, and thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
I think there are a lot of things that you could say are the biggest challenges that new agents face today. Two, I decided on just two. Especially for those who've been in the market for about the last 3 years, because they've been riding a high, like a wave, and it's been cresting. And with all things, there will become a balance.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the market is shifting, and we're hearing that news everywhere. We're bombarded by that. So I think the challenge for new agents is to take the news, dissect the news, and see how does it apply to you locally.
Right.
Not all news out there affects you.
Right.
It may not affect you at all. So having the ability to sit and look at your market, happenings in your market and statistics, and adjusting accordingly. If you don't do that, then you run a risk of costing your clients a lot of money. So I think that's a big challenge for new agents who don't have the experience of they've ridden this crest for the last 3 years. Now, how do you make changes in a market that's balancing itself?
Right.
So I would say get with somebody who can help you with that, because it is changing. The second one that I see a lot in talking with new agents is the fact that I'm not sure they understand once they get a license, they're now a business owner. Even though you operate under a broker, you ultimately own your business, and it lives or dies with you. It is not the broker's responsibility to feed you. You have to learn how to feed yourself. And I think about that saying, it says, teach a man to fish and he'll eat the rest of his life. But if you feed him, he'll never learn how to feed himself. So I think the biggest thing is coming out with a license is you have to learn this is your business. And one of my favorite instructors through the years, and he was life-changing for me, is Mark Leader. And he taught us, and it's this: if it is meant to be, it's up to me.
Right.
It's not up to you. It's not up to the company. It's up to you to get out and build this business. Nobody can do it for you. So those are my 2 points for challenges for new agents.
Well, great. What can you tell us about handling difficult clients and occasionally a very difficult co-oping agent?
That's a big one. Well, maybe not. I think with clients when they're difficult, and I got to say in 30-something years, I've been incredibly blessed to not have many of those. But the few that I've had has taught me this. Buying and selling a house has the stress levels are equivalent to death and divorce.
Wow.
So if you can take the point of view of understanding the incredible stress they are under in a real estate transaction.
Right.
And when they come at you with that, is taking it, step back, recognizing the emotions, and find out what is really behind the emotion, because that's usually what it is.
Yes.
And then supply the answer to their anxiety or their stress or their emotion or whatever it is that they're hanging from the ceiling from. That's what I say, hanging from the ceiling. And listen to them and find a solution. And I'm going to say this. Sometimes when they're so difficult and you can't bridge that gap, it's okay to walk away.
Absolutely.
I have fired a few clients in the years. That's up to you.
Right. Very personal
But
decision.
I have had, just maybe 2 in the 32 years that I said, you know what? This isn't worth it.
Right.
It isn't
It's
worth
not.
it.
And move on.
Yeah, move on, because the amount of time that you spend with all that stress and anxiety, and you could have sold 4 or 5 more houses.
Oh, sure.
So that's on the client side. On the agent side, and it is unfortunate that we deal with this sometimes in business. And so when this question was posed to me, I went back to the Code of Ethics, and the golden rule is this: do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. And again, we all have stress and pressure and things in our lives, so you never know what somebody's operating from.
Right. You don't know what burdens they're carrying.
No, what's going on in their life. So I try to build a bridge. And if you can't build a bridge, use email.
Yep.
Just stop, take a step back, and communicate. Because ultimately, the most important thing is getting the deal closed.
Right.
That's what we all need to understand. Is mutual success for the clients.
It is.
It's not about me. It's not about you. It's how do we get them to a win-win.
Absolutely.
And if you can't do that in communication, email works.
Yep. And that way you have a record of what is said back and forth. You don't have anybody saying you said this or you said that.
Right.
You actually have a record of it.
And it takes the emotion out of that.
It does.
There's no emotion and reaction.
Exactly.
It's just facts.
Yep.
Can't fire the agent.
Yeah. All right. And lastly, as a real estate professional of over 30 years, what one thing would you tell a brand new agent that you wish somebody had told you when you first started?
Luckily, I had somebody tell me.
Yeah.
Luckily, I did. But I would say this to anybody new in the business: answer the phone.
Oh, that's big.
Answer the phone.
Yeah.
The phone is your lifeline. Answer the phone. Second, show up on time, dressed appropriately.
Right.
Like I said, thankfully I had somebody that taught me that.
Yes.
Show up on time, dressed appropriately. And last, I would say this business is a relationship business. It is critical to success to develop and cultivate relationships.
Absolutely.
That has fed me through the years, as cultivating those relationships. It's been huge for me.
And nurturing the people that you have already done business with.
Yes.
Sheila does not have to, although she could if she chose to, try to reinvent the wheel. She nurtures the people that she already has in her business. And that is the real key to success in real estate. But you've got to remember, you can't develop a true relationship through texting all the time. You have to pick up that phone. You should pick up that phone and call the listing agent if you're going to send over an offer. Just, have them know that you're a nice person and you're in this to achieve the same goal. She wants to sell a house and you want to sell a house.
Yeah.
You know, so I just don't think there's any way to do that through texting. And I know so many younger agents that's the way they do their business, but I don't know how you can sustain that. I think that at this time, we are coming around to a time when there's more time on the market. You know, there's not this frenzy of buyers lined up down the street to buy your house anymore. What's happening now is normal real estate. That, the past few years, has not been normal, okay? So, you know, I think a lot of new agents that have been in the business, you know, just during this time are in for a rude awakening. So
It'll definitely be an adjustment, a mindset adjustment.
it is.
There
It
is a mindset
absolutely
adjustment.
is.
But I think put your head down, stay focused,
Uh-huh.
do your business, do your job.
Exactly.
Do your job.
Do your job. If you have a slowdown in your business, listen to podcasts, read a book, watch videos
Educate.
about real estate. You have to have the fire in your belly.
Yeah. Yes.
And there is no doubt about that. So keep yourself just immersed in it. And I hope you enjoyed our little Monday morning inspiration. And I thank you so much, Sheila, for
Thank you
doing
having
this with me.
Love you, girl.
Love you too. Bye.